You ready?
Yeah. Jackie, always ready. It's a misquote from Jackie Chan. You seen Rush Hour movies?
No, I haven't.
You know, Jackie's thing is he does his own stunts.
Yeah.
Jackie Chan. And one of them, he slides through a mail slot at a bank thing.
Okay.
And in one of the outtakes, he bashes his face into it and falls backwards.
Ow.
Like, Jackie, okay? He pops up and goes, Jackie, always okay.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Too Weird Didn't Watch, the show where we make fun of movies based on nothing but their very odd descriptions.
I'm Brantley.
I'm Albert. And our first movie for today, so we're going to do a themed week today, Brantley. We did werewolves a couple weeks ago, 2 or 3. And today, we're taking on vampires. Probably not the last time. I think we can hit vampires and werewolves a couple more times at least. If the podcast keeps going, which I hope that it will. But we're doing vampires.
Put that negativity out there.
What?
Read your movies.
Starting off with Sleepwalkers.
I have not seen this. At least based on the title.
It's a kind of a generic title.
Yeah.
Which is sort of disappointing. It's like, that's not...
It's making me think of... It's not the title, but there was this one vampire movie that, again, tried to be semi-realistic. It's a super low-budget movie that looks like it was made on someone's home video camera.
Right, yeah.
But one thing that's fun is a guy comes back from Iraq. He was a soldier. He dies over there.
Uh-huh.
And he comes back, and then he turns out to be a vampire. So he goes to his best friend's house, and he's like, dude, I'm not dead. And then the sun comes up, and he drops dead. Like, every day. He literally dies again.
That's funny.
He becomes like a vigilante, like shooting criminals and drinking their blood, and then he would die during the day. And his buddy's got like a hearse. He drives him around back to the house.
Oh, yeah.
And there's great, like, 3 nights in a row, there's old lady sees him just, like, dragging up his friend's dead body up to the house, and he's just like, he drinks a lot, don't worry.
That actually sounds pretty good. I would watch that as a good movie. Like, I'm sad now that you said that was VHS quality film. Or are you saying, like, home video, like, back in the day, like Super 8?
I mean, it's like the video camera I have now. It's not like, VHS. The movie's, like, maybe 8 years old.
I mean, the video camera I have right now in my phone will do 4K. So, I don't do 4K, but I could. Anyway, Brian Krause and Alice Krieg star in this horror movie of modern-day vampires who prey on virtuous young women.
They're fruity vampires.
we got to get that virgin blood.
I mean, there's a lot of diseases, especially STDs that go in the blood.
You think that's what it is? That's why the vampires, they're sort of the whole virgin
I mean,
trope?
It could be now. I mean, traditionally it was because the virgins were pure, and because they targeted them, it's because they're evil.
Anyway, imagine Amik is the sexually curious virgin who falls for the new boy in school.
Oh. It's high school vampires. It could be good, but it's never good.
Well, I understand your trepidation here. However, I've read this, and he's like, it's not as bad as you fear. Only to learn too late that he's a life-sucking sleepwalker. I don't know why they won't just come out and say vampire. Is it one of those movies like, don't say the Z word? Is it that?
You don't get that with vampires a lot.
Yeah, I guess.
I think 30 Days a Night doesn't ever say it.
They're also weird monster people, though.
And yeah, they got pointy teeth, and admittedly, everybody's kind of too busy running around screaming and dying.
Do you actually see them drain anybody's blood in that movie?
Yeah, you see them rip open people's throat and suck them dry.
Mutating at will from golden boy to savage monster, Krause stalks Amik to feed his seductive mother.
Oh, I really hope he looks like Count Orlok from Nosferatu.
You think?
No. I mean, if he's transforming, it's slimish possibility.
Right.
Because, I mean, Count Orlok is fairly well known, but I don't know if they, this kind of movie would.
Well, also, that's a lot of prosthetics, I would think.
Well, he's transforming, so unless it's just he's getting, like, he just starts acting scary and gets, like, dark eyeliner.
Yeah.
Or they could do the whole, like, half-bat prosthesis.
I'm just really enjoying this sort of, like, weird sexual energy I'm imagining between the son and his mom as he brings home his, like, high school girlfriend for her to eat. Yeah. Because they, at this point, if they're vampires, like, we could imagine that they've been vampires for many, many years. So they're actually very close in age, and they know each other real well, and they're vampires, so evil. Might be some stuff going on there.
They can't have babies. So technically the main taboo is irrelevant.
Correct. Also, I just want to point out, if that's going on, this sort of somewhat negates your high school vampire negativity. Because that ain't happening in Twilight. Ain't nobody doing their mom in Twilight.
I don't know. I've seen one movie and I kind of passed out halfway through.
Trust me, they're not that brave. As the tension mounts. Yes.
I'm sure there's a lot of mounting in this movie.
And the casualties pile up.
He's after one chick. How bad is he at his job?
I don't know.
She's a high school girl.
Maybe he kills her and then he has to like cover it up. People like somebody walks in on him. So he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and then like,
I mean,
people just keep walking in.
I don't think so because it gave her first and last name as either the character or the actress, and unless it's like Psycho where they just got a big name actress just kill her off the beginning of the movie for shock value,
could be. I
say big name. I don't know.
I don't know how the casualties are piling up, Brantley, but it's not important because the last part of the sentence is the most bonkers thing about this movie. As the tension mounts and the and the casualties pile up, the town's tabbies gather for a final chilling showdown with the monsters in their midst.
Tabbies?
That's what it says. As in cats.
I think that's a slang.
For what?
Girls.
No. I don't think so. And I don't want to believe it if it is. I don't want to imagine a bunch of cats fighting vampires. They're just surrounded. They're probably like, they want this to be like weird, like not vampires. Like we're gonna make our own like vampire like monster.
What do they call this? The Sleepwalkers?
The Sleepwalkers. Yeah. I don't like thinking about that.
Do they pass out and then fangs happen?
Maybe
fangs with an F, not fangs. Like literally, does he like pass out and like feed mama?
I mean, he does transform. I don't know. I'm just saying. There's a bunch of cats show up and they fight the vampires. And why won't you go with me with this?
I'm just annoyed with this title because it's like, all right, we want to cash in on the whole vampire teenage thing.
This is early 90s, so there wasn't as much. I mean there was Interview with the Vampire, but it wasn't as much of a teenager thing.
Yeah, Twilight hadn't happened yet.
You ready for the next one, Brantley?
Yeah, sure. Get me away from this.
Okay. The next one is the 2016 version of Mother, May I Sleep with Danger.
Version?
Oh, no, yeah, okay, so, fun story. This is a remake of a 1996 movie.
Have you seen that one?
I haven't seen either one of them.
Good.
But it was fun to find out.
So, honestly, not sure how to count remakes in that.
Lifetime original movie, starring Tori Spelling, and written by and starring, guess who?
M. Night Shyamalan.
James Franco.
Cool.
Yes.
Is he the vampire?
I don't know. He actually doesn't show up in the description that I had. Like, I don't know which character he plays. It said starring, but then like the thing on Wikipedia didn't list his character's name, so I have no idea who he plays.
Is vampire dude or chick?
In this one, it's a girl.
Okay, then he's being stalked by the vampire.
No, I don't think. Well, maybe. Yeah, you know what? He might be one of the pervs in the movie. But the other fun fact about this, both movies starring Tori Spelling.
I don't know who that is.
She was. Have you seen Princess of Mars, the Asylum's take?
No.
On it? Oh, okay. She kind of was like an adult film star for a bit that tried to break out, I think. Or maybe she was a regular film star that went into adult films for a bit. She not a lot of self-respect, not a great actress, but did some B-movie stuff for a while.
Okay.
Tori Spelling. People will know her. Same name, by the way. Weird name. A college girl named Leah befriends a fellow student named Pearl and falls in love with her, much to the dismay of her mother, Julie. Cannot talk today. Her mother's name is Julie.
Carl girl, and her mom's name is Jewelry.
Her mom's name is Julie. This is Tori Spelling, by the way, the Tori Spelling character. In the 1996 version, she was the girl. Leah learns that Pearl is a night walker. Why can't you just call them vampires, by the way, again? We have Sleepwalkers and Night Walkers now.
Blade was... How recent is the movie? 2016?
2016. The original was 1996.
Okay, it's not close enough to be trying to do the like sound similar to Blade because he's the daywalker. Vampires are kind of known for walking primarily at night.
I'm just saying they won't say vampire. She says Pearl is a vampire, a human who can assume...
I mean, this one Twilight's happened.
Assume a vampire appearance at night. Why not just say she's a vampire? Like, why do we have to...
Okay, I know the movie is literally she's going to have claws, or, I mean, fangs and maybe different colored eyes, black and or red, and get super pale at night.
She could have wrinkly skin, too, like a la Buffy.
I've seen, like, half of an episode of Buffy in my entire life.
Okay, well, I haven't seen a lot of episodes, but the vampires, like, they get all squinchy-faced and ugly. Okay. It's prosthetics.
In my head, that's exactly how Joss Whedon pitched how they should look. They all squinchy-faced and, you know... Weed in your grade, but your dialogue is hilarious. Where was I? I got distracted. I can't remember my train of thought. Anyways, continue.
Unlike the other Nightwalkers, of which I assume apparently there are some in this movie.
I mean, if there's one vampire, there's going to be... Oh, right. Vampires, how they originally looked. They look like rotting corpses.
Right, yeah. They were zombies, essentially. They were the original zombie.
Kind of, yeah. Except they would, you know, during the daylight, they would go back in their coffin.
Yeah.
Because... part of it's the whole, you know, your skin shrinks and that makes it look like your fingernails and hair is still growing, even though they don't actually keep growing after you die. They might for like a day or two. But, yeah, they would be rotting, and a lot of people would die from tuberculosis. And so you'd cough up blood, so you have blood around your mouth, and nobody wants to touch you because you're gross. And then other people start getting sick of random diseases and dying. Right. And it's like, look at him. He looks fine, and his hair's growing, and he is clearly eating people. There's blood on his mouth. Or on the body.
Sense.
Actually,
tuberculosis, good stuff.
Yeah. Although, actually, they would tend to bury them under crossroads, because if you're buried under a crossroad, you can't come back to life.
I think it's just because it's much harder to dig up. People rolling over you all the time.
That's probably, like, the original reasoning. And then it's like, well, because magic at crossroads, which is a, you know, superstition. And then superstitions are fun.
Let's move on with this, though.
Okay. You think she turns into an owl?
No, I don't think so.
I want a vampire movie where they turn to owls. That's how it started.
Yeah, well,
that showed up after we found vampire bats for the first time.
Keep wishing. Unlike the other Nightwalkers, Pearl only targets abusive males. I assume that's where James Franco comes in. You look disgusted with yourself. Or with this movie, I mean.
I'm worried this movie's going to turn into the whole guys suck because they're violent thing.
No, the girl sucks because she's a vampire.
Ah, funny.
What?
I mean... don't get me wrong. Domestic violence, you're a crap person if you do that. Either gender.
Right, yeah.
Chicks do it too.
They do? That's true.
Had a conversation with a guy at work yesterday about it. This chick came out with a frying pan, and then the male cops ignored him because he's a dude.
That happens.
Double
standard.
standard.
Should not happen. Anyway, but yeah, they're probably taking that. It's also, I would say, very intentionally sort of self-aware, schlocky. So
yeah.
There are worse targets to take on, Brantley.
No, I'm not. Again, I'm not trying to defend it because it's horrible.
As Leah and Pearl's love relationship grows, Pearl must work to keep her safe from a group of other Nightwalkers, where one of its deceased members was responsible for Pearl's Nightwalker conversion.
Okay, so they're not following kill the head vampire and everybody else turns back normal or dies.
They're clearly not.
Okay.
They're not vampires. They're Nightwalkers, Brantley.
True, and she's already drunk of blood, so that would just kill her.
Yeah.
Assuming she's already died.
Finally, this episode, we have Planet of the Vampires.
Okay.
This is a Roger Corman flick, I believe, by the way.
Yeah, the title sounds familiar.
Have you seen it?
I don't think so.
The spaceship's Argos, commanded by Captain Mark, and her sister ship, Galliot, commanded by Captain Salas, travel to the mysterious planet Ara to investigate a strange transmission of a distress signal. The spaceships are protected by the meteor rejector instrument, but on the arrival, the gravity increases and the automatic controls go haywire, and the Galliot crashes on the surface of Ara.
This is a Doctor Who episode.
It really is, isn't it?
Like an old serious Doctor Who episode. Gravity increasing, that's not how science... How do you science, movie?
I mean, it's just a tractor beam, right? That's the same idea?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll accept that. There's like a localized tractor beam aimed up.
Then the crew members in Argos go crazy and attack each other in a moment. Soon, Captain Mark finds that most of the crew from Argos is dead after fighting against each other. When the dead members resurrect, Captain Mark and Communications Officer Sonia and Engineer West discover that parasite, bodiless aliens have entrapped them.
It's Dead Space before Dead Space.
Yeah, this is like in the 50s, so...
Well, like Doctor Who-ish. It's like a cheap made-for-TV version of Dead Space.
That was just the Dead Space cartoon.
Dude, that thing is crazy.
I didn't like it that much.
You watched it?
Yeah. It was fine, but it's just like...
I mean...
cool zombie effects and everything, but I was not engaged by the story that much.
The whole... I don't know, Visceral with their horror games is like, we made a horror game, and it has to have an anime. Because Dead Space 1, 2, and 3 all had that, and Dante's Inferno had that. Dante's Inferno was just the entire plot of the game, by the way. Summed up in an hour-and-a-half movie with shifting art styles every couple of circles.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah. And then Dead Space 1's was, we're going to tell the story of how everything happened, even though over the course of the game, several things tell you that story, because the game is really repetitive in its storytelling.
So the parasite bodiless aliens have entrapped them with the transmission expecting to flee from their dying world. The final line of this is ridiculous, and I love it. It says, "What will be their attitude?" I really love user-submitted IMDb synopses. It's like, I think they're going to be sassy. There's going to be some sassy space alien bodiless vampire parasites.
You stupid human with your stupid minds. Stupid minds. That's my Plan 9 up in here.
Which plan will use? Plan 9.
Space vampires is cool.
It is. It's really cool when they're like classic magic vampires, but they also have spaceships.
They're just in space.
There's a Choose Your Own Adventure series about that.
Well, I mean, I asked you when you got here when you stated vampires if you had done Dracula 3000, and it's literally Dracula in the year 3000 in space. It's a terrible movie.
But the idea is great.
But the idea is Dracula, the guy who plays Dracula, is great.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cool because he's super classy, but there's people who are just like, I'm in the future. Rah.
I tried to... just the filmmaking on that is just abysmal also, by the way.
And
I tried to watch it, and I was like,
their big thing is... Because he turns a few people into vampires, and the whole thing is you have to kill a vampire with a wooden stake, but they're on a spaceship.
They don't have wood.
They have pool cues. So they snap those in half and start hunting Dracula with broken pool cues.
Are they still making pool cues out of wood in the future?
Apparently. I think it works on every vampire except... I think they... Spoilers, but I think they kill Dracula by like launching him into a sun.
Okay.
And then their spaceship starts crashing. And then the robot chick is like, I used to be a so-and-so. And the guy's like, a sex bot. And just carries her off screen.
It's not a... I've never watched that movie. I've tried to... I watched the first 5 minutes of it, and I just could not. And I watch a lot of bad movies. It was not good. Let's wrap things up today with the final one that I had. I was debating putting this on, because the writing is even more amateurish than the last one, but it's also kind of fun. And also the title is great. It's called Queen of Blood.
And Rice did Queen of the Damned, but all right.
Well, this is before Anne Rice, I believe. And this is also another space vampire.
Okay.
The year...
I'm not sure when Anne Rice wrote the book.
Well, in this movie, this is science fiction taking place in the far future. The year is 1990.
Oh, I watched a movie the other day that was like, in the far future of 1991. I'm like, I was born! I'm from the future!
I wish that there were more movies that made fun, like spoof science fiction movies that like, in the year 1999.
I think I've told it on this podcast, and I've definitely told you before, but the Harvey Birdman did a great joke of it.
You have, yes. Where the Jetsons.
Yeah, the Jetsons, like, we're from the far future of 2001. His wall counter says 2004 on it. And he just looks at it like, what?
The year is 1990. An alien species makes contact with Earth through radio transmission, notifying of an imminent visit. Which is nice of them. Be like, hey guys, we're coming. We've seen your movies. We're gonna, we'll be chill.
They read the Mars Attack comics and didn't want to repeat that. Have you read the Mars Attack comics?
No, I haven't.
So humans figured out nuclear energy splitting the atom, and the Martians who had been watching us to where we got to the level like, cool, they figured out nuclear power. They got clean energy. Let's go visit. They apparently never occurred to them to have nukes. So, like, they're good people. They all have free energy. Must be on our level now. So they send, like, the son of one of the top aliens as an ambassador, and he lands in, like, an Alabama farm, and they just immediately shoot him, and it's like, well, time to go to war. It's invading Earth.
I mean, that's realistically how that sounds like the most realistic alien invasion I've ever heard of.
And then they made giant ants.
Well, that is less realistic.
Yeah.
But just like from the human level.
One thing, because the comics get interesting.
Because how is an alien going to know? I mean, you assume that they're going to like scan our transmissions and figure out, but like legitimate.
I mean, he was landing in like it was like the 50s, so.
Well, I'm saying, how would they know what our capital is, or like the fact that we don't have a centralized government? Again, if they don't speak any of our language, why would they land?
I think they explained it like they didn't want to land in the middle of a city because that would cause panic.
Yeah.
If they did land on
if they're thinking that far ahead, then they should have thought a little bit even further ahead. And done something else.
Anyways, back to this movie.
Yes. There's an imminent visit. The aliens are like, "Hey guys, we're coming. We're cool. Don't shoot us, please." Alien ship crash lands on Mars, and a rescue team is sent out from Earth. So I guess they're like heading into our solar system and accidentally crash on Mars, and we're like, "We'll go get them."
I mean, they may not have known about the asteroid belt.
Also, in parentheses here, it says, "The plot thickens."
Yes, it do.
Thanks, Guy. I appreciate you on the third sentence of your review being like,
true.
"Guys."
This guy is like day 3 in his creative writing class. No, I mean, you added the layer. First, it's the aliens call, they're coming, and then new layer, they've crashed. Now the humans had to go save them. What?
Eventually, a surviving female is located and brought on the human ship.
Who probably looks exactly human.
Yeah. Well, so, not exactly. The female is light green with an amazing hairdo.
Okay, are we like... When did this movie get made?
I think it was like late 50s. When I said Roger Corman earlier, I think he actually made this one.
Okay, so you think it's like 50s hairdo, like a really nice 50s vintage?
Yeah, well, I'm thinking Bride of Frankenstein-esque.
Like their version of what future hair would look like?
Yeah.
So you had like the sci-fi bob? Things like that?
No, I'm thinking even more like wild.
Oh, like straight up?
Like maybe she's got a mohawk or something.
They foresaw the 80s. They were behind by a decade when their prediction and the wrong species, but they were on the track.
Which species has a mohawk in your version of reality?
Humanity.
Oh! I thought you were saying
the
like
one
women.
that, as far as I'm aware, we're both the part of Al. You gotta tell something to us.
Oh boy! Deflect.
I've been exposed.
After some unsuccessful attempts by the human crew to feed her, she is more or less left to herself.
Good job, guys.
Well, maybe she just doesn't say anything. She's just like standing around. They're like, we got a long voyage. We got stuff to do, I guess.
Sorry, I just got the image. She's a survivor of this crash, so quite possibly comatose. So they're just like trying to spoon things in her mouth. It's like, she's not opening. Let's just leave her. She didn't try for the banana or nothing. I gave her a power bar.
Our wonderful writer here felt the need to jump in, by the way, again, with another parenthetical saying, "Ominous, is it not?"
Not really. I mean, I feel bad for her. Everyone she knew on this trip is dead. They were coming to greet this...
presumably friendly alien craft.
Then, we were at least at the point where we can just like, gotta go to Mars. Because, it's the far future of 1990. It's one of my favorite, like, older sci-fi tropes that you don't really see a lot anymore.
They're just like, we're getting it with the Blade Runner thing did it, and we're getting Blade Runner 2099 or 2029 now, which I plan to live to see 2029, Brantley. I mean, I can't control everything, but it seems like I have a decent shot, statistically speaking.
No, I'm saying is when they would, like, put a definite date they don't want to be like 300 years from now, so... Technology's going at a good clip. 40 years from now, 1990, we're going to space.
I think that there's
frequently.
Well, I don't know about...
2001: A Space Odyssey.
In Looper, I think they give a date. It's like 2034 or something.
Yeah, Looper's time travel, though, right?
Yeah, but it starts in the future, and then there's more future ahead of it.
That's how time works.
It takes place in a... Yes, thank you. It takes place at an actual date. Like, they're envisioning a future of 2034. While most of the crew sleeps, the alien female hypnotizes the astronaut on guard.
I would say they should have, like, her locked in, but she can probably just hypnotize through doors.
Possibly.
Or she's like...
Or she could call to him, and he's
like,
I'm super bored.
I'm starving, I need food. And he's like, we tried, you didn't want the pudding.
Also, she's the only woman
I mean,
on a
admittedly,
ship full of men
we don't know
in a
that.
movie made from the 1950s.
Okay, yeah, we do know that.
Yeah. I think we can tell exactly how she...
When was... Okay, Voyage to the Prehistoric Planet. When was that made? Was that 50s or 60s? Because there was a woman astronaut and all she did was sit in the spaceship, but she was a female astronaut.
Fair enough.
She was the
Forbidden
pilot.
Planet, though, had all men. And they were like... I'm visioning Forbidden Planet stuff where, like, it's all men and then they get to the alien world and there's
like, there's a chick!
Oh my goodness! She's hot!
She's got boobs and everything. She's not even a mammal. Awesome.
When the crew awakens.
Okay, sorry, I just get this image. You know the trope where it's like, I took a form you'd be comfortable with, that kind of thing?
Yeah.
I want to see a female alien do that and be like completely perplexed by boobs. Just like, what are these for? Why do they jiggle? Anyways,
so practical.
Continue.
When the crew awakens, she is sleeping, and the guard is dead.
He tripped.
Brief examination. They only do a brief examination. Shows that the alien ate his blood.
That's not technically wrong, but that's an awkward way to phrase that. Did she like make it coagulate and then eat it like black pudding in Britain?
Yeah, maybe.
She didn't just like...
The next sentence is just the title of the movie in all caps. The Queen of Blood! With an exclamation
they brought royalty.
point.
That's nice.
Huh.
I'm getting this image of it just being a really big, like, not misunderstanding, but it's just really unfortunate. Like, they had their own supply of blood. It's like, look, we feed on that. They eat meat. You know, it's cool. We're just going to bring our own supply. So it's like, they're not going to think we're going to attack anybody. And it's like, I'm a starve. They look like popsicles.
Well, the next sentence here is pretty great. Naturally, there is a lot of blood plasma on the ship. So they feed the alien using that supply. Everything about that makes 100% of sense to me.
We have a shortage of blood plasma now on Earth today?
Well, maybe I'm assuming she doesn't need like a ton of it, and they would take it.
Plasma is the worst part of blood for consumption because there's very little nutritional value. That's why vampire bats pee a whole lot. They have to pee before they take off after they drink.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw one vampire movie that kept that true. It was hilarious.
I don't need to see that right now.
I mean, they didn't show it on screen, but it's just like they walked to the room. It's like, oh, that smell. It's like ammonia. It's delightful.
But the idea that they have... Okay, for the sake of your sensibilities, let's assume that it's whole blood. I know they say plasma. I think they probably said plasma because it sounds more scientific.
She's an alien. She can probably eat the plasma.
Yeah. But that like they're like, oh, she needs blood? Well, it's not cool that she killed our guy. But we didn't understand. Maybe she couldn't communicate. Maybe she doesn't understand. I mean, we'll keep feeding her.
She was probably, like, it could even be like she was intending just to stop, but she didn't know what the percentage we needed, and she was probably really hungry.
Yeah, also, again, people in this movie continue to act fairly rationally.
Which is amazing.
Yes.
It's
the aliens
like
started
life.
out acting rationally, and now these guys are like, well, we could feed her blood. That's cool. None of us are needing it.
I'm also impressed thus far because I don't know. I'm assuming there's like a dark turn, but it's the aliens call ahead and they don't turn out to be like lol JK evil Godzilla.
When they are almost home, however, yet another crew member is eaten. A fight breaks out, and the alien is accidentally killed before she can finish the third guy. And then the person writing the description said, "Phew." I can't do it because I'm laughing. Phew. Like the wiping. That was a close one, guys. Right? Looking at the reader like, guys, did you notice how close that was? The ship lands on Earth. Finally. But there is trouble.
Yeah. They killed the one alien we've met. And they ate our people. This is war, except they're probably better at space.
Her people ate us, though. I mean, she ate us.
I mean, yeah, but that was for survival. We don't know how fast she was going through that plasma.
Fair enough.
I'm taking her side in this.
The ship lands on Earth finally, but there is trouble. The two remaining astronauts find a lot of eggs when they are about to leave the ship.
She's like a mosquito. Female mosquitoes, they need to drink a whole lot of blood to feed the babies.
Obviously, the alien was a kind of queen bee whose sole purpose...
That's not obvious at all.
Well, I mean
from the
title,
I would get it, but I would just assume she was pregnant because presumably they were like dudes, and they're coming from quite a ways away. It's like, hey, I'm going to bring my lady friend along because I'm going to miss her. Is that cool? Yeah, cool, bro. Take some extra blood. Because we eat that.
Anyway,
with bendy straws.
She was obviously a queen bee whose sole purpose was to spread their species to Earth, where there is a lot of yummy food.
No, I mean, I'm not getting that. I mean, that's probably how it is in the movie, but I really want the version that's just like they're aliens that happen to eat blood. Just alien mosquitoes, and it's a really unfortunate series of events.
By the way, every account that I've read of this movie says that it is like actually really like gorgeously shot.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's this one. It might have been the other one, the previous one that I read, but it was a Roger Corman flick, and they stitched it together with some footage from a Russian science fiction film that he bought. Because he was a big let's buy stock footage, guys. And apparently they did a really good job of it. So I guess it's worth checking out for the cinematography, although it's also supposed to be super slow.
I mean, it's really hard to not make space look, or to make space not look pretty.
Or if it's not pretty, it's really goofy and fun.
Yeah.
It's like, cardboard spaceships.
I mean, I have a
phobia
planets. With space, so I get freaked out by space movies. That's why I didn't watch Gravity. And I was fine watching Life because I knew it was mostly inside and because there was a monster focus on.
Also, it was bad.
Unfortunately, it was Life.
That's not the topic of this.
Hey, Hollywood,
podcast.
We have a request. Remake Who Goes There in Space.
Yeah, for real.
Because that's what I thought Life was going to be. Because
you have this super smart alien that can...
I mean, they have that, and then you have Ryan Reynolds with a flamethrower saying, let's kill the thing, and then the shot of it going in his mouth. Thanks for spoiling that. Trailers, by the way.
Yeah. None of these were particularly classic vampires. Either they were shying way away from saying the word vampire. They're like, no, we're not going to... It's not vampires. It's something else.
I feel like the only one... I feel like the first two would maybe have someone say the word vampire, then be like, no, we prefer X...
Yeah,
or Sleepwalkers and
just that's so unscientific.
Sleepwalkers and Nightwalkers. We get it. Vampires can walk.
I like that they're like, by the way, we have our cool name, and then we want to put in the title, part of it can be about the night and sleeping and everything, but we do want people to know that we can use our legs like everybody else.
You think it's a weird prequel to Nightcrawler?
Nightwalker,
Nightcrawler, Nightlayer. Just a dude who's tired tonight.
Night sleeper. Yeah, that's just everybody. Unless you have those.
He does not have insomnia. Good. Okay. Yeah. Or night job. All right.
Well, that's going to do it for us for this week here at Too Weird Didn't Watch. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Subscribe to the podcast if you haven't done that already. Tell your friends to listen, and we'll see you guys next week with another episode. Take care.
Bye, guys.